Hello everybody, Anthony is here. In this video I will talk about how I sculpted the head of this girl. This is the second part of the 4-part series on the subject. The previous one was about the blockout and the next one will be about the body. And as usual there is a promo code to buy the 3D code full license. You can find it in the description. Okay, so here I have the blockout. Start to smooth it and then just do broad strokes. Since I don't do the characters on like daily basis, you'll see me struggling at first with the face. It would look pretty ugly. I can guarantee you that for the first like 40 minutes of sculpting, it wasn't looking any good at all. But then I kind of was putting it back into a better look. So here I'm just modifying the proportions, trying to get more of a peanut shape skull using the move tool. So see, I rotated the head. It was like before it was pointing up, but I kind of when I started to model it tilted, it's hard for me to judge the proportions, so I had to rotate it back to make it so that it looks straight. And you can see here I'm created the spheres with the eyes. So I didn't really have any concept about it. I just was going with the feel. And usually when you do that, you can end up doing it a few times. Okay, the puff on the cheeks. I think I did an instance copy, symmetry instance copy. So every time I change the eye, it would be different. So here I have the eyebrows. So I started to create the shapes to have them on the outside. So essentially I will create the eyebrows and I will make the nose and the lips. I thought that would have made it simpler to deal with if I had lips and other parts outside, but in the end I think it turned out that the easiest way is just to model it out and to have just the ears to be like separate shapes. So here I made a duplicate of the face and I cut out the rest of the face and had my kind of lips in place. So I have like top lip and bottom lip. And right now it looks pretty awful, but you know, it will get better. Looks like an ugly plastic doll. And here I just duplicated the head and then cut out the nose pretty much. So this is a really common way for me to reuse parts of the body and just to cut out the shape I need and keep the layer. This time I used the curve tool to create a new layer and essentially the eyelids, top and bottom. And I didn't like what I was getting, so instead of painting using the curve tool, I just duplicated the eyes and cut out the eyelids there. And I did a symmetry copy and got it out. So I use the pose tool to move the eyebrows. There was a little jump ahead. So I combined the lips with the body, with the head, and hid, I guess, the top bit, part of the helmet. And yeah, it's still looking pretty awful at the moment. It's an alien from outer space. Like the eyes are way too up front. Makes it look like a frog. There's a pinch tool to kind of modify some bits a little bit. And yeah, since on my channel I do so many different things like realistic and sci-fi and all that, I don't practice character creation that often, and that makes me spend more time on sculpting the character, because then I have to do it until it feels right, and when I do it until it feels right, you have to often recreate it a few times, like tweak it for a long time. That was my pathetic excuse for the style that I felt wasn't that great. And in 3D code, I deal everything in kind of one subdivision layer, since you don't really have the kind of like ZBrush sub-D levels where you jump 1, 2, 3, you know, up and down. You can create a high, so you have like the opposite way of doing it. You can make a high poly and then you can reduce it to be a low poly, which you can then modify and move the shapes around. It's an opposite way of doing it, but still, I felt for me it was just easier to do everything in the at one kind of subdivision level, and then just go up and try to never come back at the lower subdivision levels. I think these flips I've done them like 15 times, just because never felt right. Another small jump here. I combine the nose with the head, and here I'm just fixing the proportions, so the frontal part of the face became narrower than the back. Just trying to shape the ears. I think I spent a fair amount of time on ears as well. With the ears, once I kind of found the design I wanted to go with, this certain stylized look, I just later on created a new ear to have a clean shape. Yeah, like there's no way I could get a really nice clean shape using a move tool on a high subdivision level. So it would have been easier just to redo the whole thing. I cut out certain fragments because it's the work there is fairly repetitive and gets even this video is fairly long. It's quite long, and just cut out stuff that didn't seem important. Okay, some type of hair. Also, because I didn't have the body like visible, I kind of got misguided. So you can see here, it's a bit more of a finished head, but the face was still. It didn't really fit the body. Didn't feel the feel of like really cartoony concept, and the cheeks were way too like thick and puffy. Also, I've created this blue material, so decided to assign a blue material since it was going to be printed as a blue like doll. Okay, here I'm trying to add the eyes. Eyes kind of spent some time doing the eyes and trying to figure out which way to make them. And in the end, uh, yeah, we'll see. You'll see what I make in the end because it's a bit hard to describe, but not this. This is something I in the end deleted. There we go. The eyelashes. So we did the eyelids, and I'm doing the symmetry copy. Just tweaking the skull shape. Doing a bit of a cleaner cut using the curve tool. and touch her in the ear again. So you can see the ear was part of a big volume, so I deleted everything that was on there, and I'm trying to get a cleaner cut using the curve tool from the sides. And here I'm using like a wax height, so and like just a simple hide and unhide. Kind of didn't work out. I just experimented with the technique of different approach. So here you can see I did an unhide. Well, that was not too bad. So unhid stuff and pushed it around, then deleted the hidden parts and smoothed it all. Okay, I finally got somewhere where it kind of looks like a face. Still wasn't too happy about it. I'm using like inflate to make the ears bigger. And the test render. And really, I should have finished this kind of video. Should have been finished around here, but I wasn't feeling exactly sure about this head, and then fixed it a bit more later on. I decided to make it a bit brighter blue because that blue was way too dark. So just duplicated an existing shader and created this bright blue. And it looked really similar to the PLA I had for my 3D printer. And the thing I should have really done here is like I should have unhid the body and see how that correlates with the overall look. And this was like kind of too realistic for the stylized body look. I just tweaking the lips. Oh boy, I spent a lot of time on those lips. I think even the last tweak I did was actually in the end. When I was doing the body, I still would come back to the head and tweak it a little bit sometimes, but the majority of the work was done in this particular video. All right, so getting everything in place, the helmet and the goggles. Cutting out the unnecessary portion of the helmet. And the whole backstory of the girl, that she's the driver of the car, so that's why she got the goggles, and she's like a stylized working driver, something like that. There we go. Classic horns, which they probably never had, no real Vikings. But they look kind of cool and cute. So I'm using I use the smooth and move tool to get the horns in place. I have a lot of hidden layers. I think I then deleted quite a few of them just to clean it up. Just some kind of hair in place. And the head right now isn't too bad, but it's just really out of style with the body. I wasn't too sure about the hairstyles, just decided to go with something really simple. I can definitely see that the left eye lacks an eyelid and eyelash. Okay, some pinching on the lips to define them better. Yeah, so here I did the kind of cut for the eye, and then I placed that circle there, and I decided to just, this was pretty much the final look. Here I'm just trying to see if I can get other kind of like a pupil look inside, but ended up not really doing that. I didn't really like how it looked. I looked at different statues and such where they make it, but it just didn't look good. Okay, here I was just grouping the eyes, so it would be easier to instance it across. Then once I have a sculpted instance, I can modify one eye and it will be reflected on the other, which is really good. The ability to have the instances for sculpting is actually quite an amazing feature of 3D code. Because you can work on a neutral pose and then instance it and make it not so neutral. Yeah, here, just move that. Okay. Yeah, I was never sure, but I ended up removing the inner circle. Yeah, it was a bit of a pity that I kind of had to disregard this particular model because it just didn't fit to the body. So I created like a support ring around the horn. Restyled the hair. I was using the move tool and it was doing a number on me because I had the ignore back face on. I had to turn it off. So yeah, more like finishing touches to this particular head. Pinching here and there and smoothing some bits and moving and tweaking them in place. Well, the thing is, like, I ended up with the face. It was looking more of a mature woman, like your, well, late 20s, 30s, could say that. And that wasn't really the cute look I wanted to have. And I think on the next day or a couple hours later, I just looked at that and I'm like, oh, okay, I need to modify it. And I just went into some pretty big drastic modifications. Just underline the jawline here. Made it too harsh, so I just decided to undo it all. Deepen in the ear. And yeah, the ear was redone anyway. I think I stylized it a bit more later. Interesting. I think also I lost my body here. The body is not in the layer stack, and I remember I had to re-input it. Not sure how it happened. I might have deleted some layer with the body by accident. Hidden layers don't really slow down you, so there was no reason for me to delete the hidden layers. Yeah, I was experimenting with the haircuts. I thought maybe I can drop a strand of hair, but it didn't really look that good in the end. Especially since I wouldn't have had it in different colors, it would all be blue. So it might have, if printed, it might have looked weird. And I wasn't going to color the printed model because I'm just lazy. I just wanted to experiment with the different stuff and get experience with 3D printing and share it with you guys. I'm not that much into miniature painting. Maybe sometime later I will be. I had a really functional approach to 3D printer, just to get the model 3D printed and forget about it. Yeah, endless tweaking never stops. And often doesn't really help even. Alright, so here I brought my body back. And I'm like, wait a second. This is not exactly good fit for the body. And for a tiny body, it should be a bit more stylized. So I started to change the proportions of the mouth. And I decided to make it less, try to make it less realistic. Making a tiny nose, tiny mouth. Eyes are pretty much the same. Yeah, smoothed out everything, made it probably a bit more like an anime face. And this video is about to end this time lapse. I did also some tweaking later with the body. But it's kind of funny how vision can change, and one face gets completely overwritten just because it just didn't fit the overall presentation. So now it feels much more in place, and all happened because I didn't have the body in place in the first place. And got a bit lost on the way. And that's really about it. So thank you for watching. In the next video, I'll show how I finished the body. And let's check it out.